Right now, you are carrying hundreds of friends in your pocket. Open your phone, look at your contacts, hundreds of names, people you could reach in 2 seconds, day or night. And here's the strange part. You will probably never need a single one of them just to survive the night. Losing a friend today hurts. It doesn't kill you. Now wind the clock back 40,000 years. That list of people isn't in your pocket. It's the faces around your fire, and that's all of them. There is no one else. For miles in every direction, no one. Out here, a friend isn't someone you text. A friend is the reason you wake up alive. And being alone out here, truly alone, is the most dangerous thing that can happen to you. So, did ancient humans actually have friends? Or were they just useful to each other? Here's what almost everyone gets wrong about this. We treat friendship as a nice bonus, something you do once survival is handled. Back then, it was the opposite. Friendship wasn't the reward for surviving, it was how you survived. A friend wasn't a feeling. A friend was equipment. And it worked in layers. Food, warning, defense, care, children, knowledge. Each one bigger than the last. Let's go. Start with the most basic problem. Food. Hunting fails constantly. Even the best hunters strike out most days. The Hadza of Tanzania have been studied closely. A skilled hunter brings home a big animal maybe once in a month of trying. So how does anyone eat on the other days? Somebody else got lucky. When one hunter scores, the meat is shared across the whole camp, not just family. Today, you feed me. Next month, when you come back empty, I feed you. Biologists call it reciprocal altruism. You can call it having each other's backs. One hunter is a gamble. A group of friends is an insurance policy. And the unlucky hunter with no friends? He didn't get a second bad month. Next, friends were your senses. Out there, the thing that kills you is usually the thing you didn't notice. The snake in the grass. The big cat that's been following you for an hour. Alone, you have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a back you can't see. A group of 10 has 20 eyes, and someone is always looking the other way. And if it comes to a fight, alone you're slow, soft, and easy. No claws, no fangs, no armor. On paper, we're a snack. But a wall of humans, screaming, throwing rocks, waving fire. Now, attacking is a great way to get hurt, and an injured predator starves. So they do the smart thing. They hunt the loner, the one cut off from the group. Sound familiar? That dread of being singled out isn't random. We'll come back to it. Here's where it gets genuinely remarkable. Out there, alone, a twisted ankle is a death sentence. You can't hunt, you can't run, you can't reach water. But ancient humans didn't always die from injuries that should have killed them. And we know that because of the bones. There's a Neanderthal we call Shanidar 1. He lived with a withered arm, a crushed eye, likely deaf, and a damaged leg, and they healed. Which means he survived for years. You don't survive that in the Ice Age alone. Someone fed him, someone watched over him, someone refused to leave him behind. And he's not the only one. In Italy, a young man with dwarfism was carried by his group into adulthood. Another, an old man with almost no teeth left, was very likely helped to eat. Caring for the helpless might be one of the oldest signatures of being human there is. Now here's a problem you might not have thought about. Babies. Human babies are absurd. Useless for years. They can't walk, can't cling, can't feed themselves, can't stay quiet. A mother alone, carrying a screaming infant and gathering food for 2? Nearly impossible. So how did our ancestors raise so many kids? They didn't do it alone. Anthropologist Sarah Hurdy calls it cooperative breeding. Other people help raise your kid. A grandmother carries the baby. An aunt nurses it. A friend keeps watch. Children are so expensive, no single parent could ever cover the bill. It genuinely took a village not as a slogan, as a survival requirement. And friends didn't just keep you alive. They made you smarter. Which plants heal and which ones kill. How to track, how to make fire, how to shape a blade. Imagine figuring all of that out yourself, from scratch, in one lifetime. Impossible. You didn't have to because someone taught you. Every skill you had was a gift, handed down friend to friend. That's the real human superpower. Not strength. Shared knowledge. Now, you might assume all this help stayed inside the family. It didn't. Ancient humans built alliances with people they weren't even related to. Think of it as a favor bank. You give a gift now, they quietly owe you later. Some hunter-gatherers still do this. The Jew, Hoanzi, call it H-Zaro, a web of gift partners spread across enormous distances kept alive for years. And this isn't a guess. Archaeologists keep finding shell beads carried hundreds of miles from the sea. Objects that travel that far are carried by relationships. There's even a rough limit about 150 people one person can really know. When two groups met, it could end in a fight, or in new friends, new mates, and a bigger net to catch you when you fell. So how did people actually build all these bonds around the fire? Here's a myth worth killing, that early humans were grim, silent survivors. Not even close. An anthropologist, Polly Weisner, studied what hunter-gatherers actually talk about. By day, the talk is boring logistics, complaints, who didn't pull their weight. But at night, around the fire, something shifts. More than 80% of nighttime talk was stories. Stories about people, distant friends, myths, the dead. The campfire was social media before social media. One person acts out the morning's hunt. Everyone leans in and laughs. A child learns to hunt just by watching. An elder hands down a map of the stars. Fire gave us time together after dark. It didn't just keep you warm, it kept you together, which is exactly why the worst thing that could happen wasn't a predator. It was being pushed out. Exile wasn't a timeout. It was a slow execution. Take everything we just stacked up and remove it all at once. No shared food, no 20 eyes on the dark, no wall of spears. No one to bring water when you're hurt. No one to help with your child. No one to teach you, trade with you, or remember your name. Everything that kept you alive gone in a single afternoon. The fire shrinks behind you. The dark opens ahead. Every sound is a threat. That's what loneliness actually was. Not an emotion, an exposure. Now let's be honest about what we can and can't know. We can't hear their inside jokes. We can't feel what they felt. We're not going to pretend we can read a 40,000-year-old heart. But behavior leaves marks, and the marks are everywhere. Shared food, healed bones, carried children, beads from across the world. And that ache you feel when you're left out? That's not weakness. It's an ancient alarm pulling you back to the group, because the group was life. But here's the part that genuinely gets me. The deepest proof of all. It isn't about food, or defense, or survival math. It's about what they did when a friend died. At a site called Sungir in Russia, around 34,000 years ago, archaeologists found graves covered in thousands of hand-carved ivory beads. Each bead took about an hour to make thousands of them. Years of human labor, buried in the ground. Survival doesn't do that. Survival keeps the beads for the living. You don't spend years of work honoring a stranger. You do that for someone you loved. They buried children that way too, with care, with grief, with gifts. Grief is just love with nowhere left to go, maybe the clearest fingerprint of friendship we'll ever find. So, did ancient humans have friends? Almost certainly. Deeply. Their friendship just looked different from ours. It was physical, practical, always within arm's reach. Not 300 contacts in a phone you never call. A handful of people who would die for you, because without you, they might. Friendship wasn't a luxury we invented once life got comfortable. It was one of the first tools that kept the whole species alive. We didn't survive because we were strong. We survived because we were never meant to be alone. And that instinct is still in you, the pull to text back, to not eat alone. So tonight, when you feel it, listen to it. It's the oldest technology we have, and we never stopped using it. Please like and subscribe for more content like this. We really appreciate your support.